the Deal News Podcast, episode 231 for October 10th. Purple Haze, all in Apple's camera. I am joined by Dan and Lewis. Hey, fellas.
Hey guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah?
Very cool.
No, it really is going awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I have exciting news to tell you later on in the broadcast.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
No spoilers.
Are you just going to drop it in?
Yeah.
Randomly.
Exactly.
Like, I'm
So, yeah.
pregnant.
You'll have to scramble for the delete button.
If only I had a button
I
that
know.
could
Good
I could
heavens.
reverse the last 10 seconds. I would do this last 10 seconds over.
Yes, I'm still waiting for that button, so my mouth will have a backspace button.
Right.
But that's not really going to work either.
Well, we could fix that. All right, guys, let's get into this. Sorry, I'm a little rusty. 1 week off, and I come back and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. All right, so which, by the way, thank you guys for covering for me.
Oh, wow, our pleasure. I hope we did you justice while you were gone.
You did.
How
In
was
fact-
your vacation, by the way?
Oh, it was good. It was more of a staycation, just a time to recharge the old batteries before fall really sets in. And good
Right.
thing I did, because it's like 40 degrees today.
Yeah, seriously, it's cold.
Is
Yeah.
it really? Are you kidding me?
In New York, it's pretty cold. Yeah, it's
Oh
jacket
my
weather.
gosh,
Easily jacket
yeah.
weather.
Yeah, and what that means is around this time of year, before the heat has turned on in my apartment, it means that it's jacket weather inside as well. That's why. So
Wow.
later, if you see me put up my hoodie, I'm not trying to be all tough. It's because I'm an old man. I get cold. I get so cold. All right, let's do a follow-up on more of Apple's iPhone 5 woes. This time, reports are coming in that when you take pictures with the camera, oftentimes you will see a purple haze coming from off-screen or around lights. Apple did have to recognize this again and officially acknowledge it and apologize for it. So once more, Apple is taking a stance of apologizing for things, which is a weird place to be.
Although, didn't they
Yeah.
also kind of say, like, if you get the purple haze, you're holding it wrong or something like that? You're holding it at a different angle or something?
No, they did not.
Slightly like
Slightly,
that. Yeah,
slightly.
yeah.
Oh
They're
my
not saying that you're
gosh.
holding it wrong. They're saying that oftentimes these tiny little cameras have the way that their lenses are constructed. I guess if light hits them in just a certain way, you get a lens flare, which you may be familiar with from J.J. Abrams' Star Trek movie.
Yes.
They were all over that thing. So in this case, you get like a purple lens flare coming in from the side, and so they said, well, if you get this, just take the picture again. Move the camera a little bit and take the picture again. So it is slightly, it does kind of resonate with the you're holding it wrong
Right.
sort of thing. But no, they say you can hold it better this time.
Yeah, hold it better.
Wrong.
I guess this is going to be their version of Hazegate.
Hazegate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
so we have Mapgate and Hazegate, and wasn't there already a third? What was the third?
Was there? What was the? Well, there was Antenna Gate.
What was that? That was the old. That was the
Yeah, that was way old. That was
old
that was 2 generations
yeah.
ago.
So
Yeah.
so last gen. Wasn't there already 3 gates? What were, Bill Gates?
don't know.
No, I'm just
Bill Gates, yeah.
horrible. All right. So what do you? I don't know. What else is there to be said about this other than that this is just something to pay attention to when you get an
I
iPhone?
don't know. This just seems to be following suit with all the problems that they've been having.
Yeah.
It seems like they're sending out more apologies than they are updates.
Yeah. Well, my question is this the first iPhone hardware update that wasn't being worked on with Steve Jobs in any way, shape, or form?
I don't know, but I would have to think that they've been
Developing the 5.
in development
Yeah.
for a long time for the 5.
Like,
I
maybe
can't-
possibly
I
the
can't
next
imagine-
3 generations or so
Yeah.
of phones they already had developed and, in the works, so to speak.
Yeah, they're probably working on iPhone 10 as we speak. That's
X.
the size of a
Yeah,
yardstick.
iPhone X.
right.
iPhone X, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It would just be easier to blame everything on not being helmed by Steve Jobs. It would be
Yeah.
probably not. You guys are probably more correct than I am. So, consumers, if you're going to buy an iPhone 5, just be aware that you might get some purple haze on your photos, along with everything else that's going on with the iPhone 5. I don't know. My wife just bought an iPhone 4S, actually.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, it should be in the mail. It should get here tomorrow, hopefully.
Wow.
Exciting times. Exciting times.
I'm just waiting for Apple to send out a press release saying if you want to get better reception, just kind of crumple up some tinfoil and stick it on the end of the iPhone and hold it in an odd angle.
Right. Wrap it in, and then they put it into the headphone jack and make like, rabbit ears out of it, and then there you go. And then have someone have a child of yours stand closer and farther away. No, don't move. That's good.
Oh, to the left a little bit. There you go.
Perfect.
All right, this next segment I would like to call, well, it's a new segment that I would like to call, Hey America, how you spendin'? And this time we're going to talk about how America is spending on Halloween.
Nice.
According to IBIS World or IBIS World, I'm not sure, they are an industry research firm, we are going to be spending over 10% more this year than we did last year.
On Halloween.
On Halloween.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So and the sundries related too, not just like on that day. It's not like we're going to go out and spend a lot on October 31st. This is all about everything. So yeah, we're going to spend about 2.87 billion on costumes, 2.35 billion on candy, and 2.36 billion on decorations.
Well, I know I spent $67 for a garden zombie, so
really bad. That's a decoration, Dan.
Oh, I thought that was home decor.
Louis, keep him occupied. I'll call the cops. He's holding up body parts. So yeah, have you guys already spent your 2.8 billion on costumes and whatnot?
You know what? I haven't. My wife's not a huge fan of Halloween, but I really, really love it. I keep threatening every single year that I'm going to go out one year and just drop a payload down and start buying like ghosts hanging from the trees, the giant spiders, the tombstones, the fog machines, the whole 9 yards, and really turn the front yard into a neighborhood nightmare.
Right, something that lowers land values for months to come.
If I can drop house values by 15%, I've done my job.
It's a very happy Halloween.
It is.
I think maybe your way is the way to go. Have two people in the relationship, one that really likes Halloween and one that doesn't so much. So it's kind of like a checks and balances thing. See, Emily and I both really like Halloween.
Oh, good Lord.
So it's just like, yeah, that's a Halloween decoration. We'll get that. We don't even have a lawn, so I think that's what's keeping us in check. But we did go to Lowe's the other day, and we bought an inflatable yard mummy.
Wow.
For our apartment.
I was going to say, the best part is you don't even have a yard.
Exactly.
Do you have it? Is it inflated behind you somewhere?
It is. Oh, I totally should have inflated it. I did not.
That would have been perfect for show and tell today.
I know. I will.
Next week. We still have time before Halloween.
Yeah. There's plenty of weeks. All right, next week. That is my promise. I'll make a note.
Now, where are you going to put it?
We have
next to the robot on the door.
It's going to go up on the pot rack up there. No. We have an area that our Christmas tree normally goes in when we get that. So we've essentially rearranged our living room in the way that we would around the holiday season. Well, this is the holiday season. So all right, so we've started rearranging our room. So it'll probably go there. I mean, it's not very tall. It's pretty short, but yeah. So, Louis, how about you? Where do you stand on the spending?
I actually don't I like Halloween too, but I don't get trick-or-treaters or anything. I don't have a lawn. I don't have a front yard. I live in a building apartment. So if anything, does it count if I rent the horror movie on Amazon? That's probably how I'll contribute to a Halloween spending.
Not if you're spending free credits. It doesn't.
Right. Damn.
And Luis Ramirez contributed $1.99 for what are you going to rent? Do you know? Do you have a plan of what you're going to rent?
I don't know if it's available yet, but I want to see Prometheus. I've heard good things about it.
I wouldn't really call that a horror film as much as I'd call it a sci-fi film. But that's just But it is good though. It was
things in it that jump out, right? So
yeah. All right. So
get away with it.
got a scare factor.
Yeah, you can get away with it. If you haven't already filled up your holiday Halloween viewing calendar, what, you guys don't make a calendar and write on it what you're going to watch Halloweeny every day of October? I certainly do. That's not crazy,
Is
right?
that like the Halloween Advent calendar? What is that?
Kind of. Oh, actually, see, I could show you that. I do have one of those.
I just happened to make one.
Yeah, see right here. You can.
Dude, it looks like one of those airplane cards that tells you where the exit is.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of hard to show it here, but yeah, there's this graphics design firm in our neighborhood that makes one. This is the second year they've made one of these, and it has it's called Mystery at 423, because that's where they're located, and it has a little door for each day before Halloween. I don't know if you can.
Oh, that's cool.
So it really is like a Halloween Advent calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah. So yeah.
What day are you on?
Remember what I was saying, Emily and I? You might need someone in our relationships to checks and balances. Yeah, I got that there. Yeah, actually, we're a little behind. But anyway, what I was saying, if you haven't filled up your entire viewing schedule until Halloween, I would recommend, I believe it's called The Halloween That Almost Wasn't. I will sell it to you with one sentence, and that is Judd Hirsch as Dracula. Go.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
Where are we on this? I'm sorry.
We're Halloween spending.
Halloween spending. So yes, America, pull out those wallets and spend more, because you're spending 10% more this year than you did last year. So get out your receipts from last year and do the math and see how much more you need to spend this year in order to make this come true.
I may actually go trick-or-treating this year. You know, because seeing the payload some of these kids had in their bag last year, I'm sitting there going, man, I could save a ton of money just by driving around and filling up a bag and then have candy for at least a day or two.
See, what you should do, here's a great costume, because you're a pretty tall guy. Yeah. What you do, dress up like two kids on top of each other's shoulders pretending to be an adult.
And have two bags.
Right.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Wear a trench coat, right? And have another head sticking out of the middle button, and another arm with another bag, so that you can go around and kind of like walk around.
Yeah, like wobble a little bit.
Well, I got the zombie arms I can use. That'd be perfect.
Perfect.
I'll just duct tape them to my abdomen and put them in there.
Of course, if you do start wobbling around like you are a kid on top of another kid's shoulders, and the cops see you, they might arrest you as a drunk adult trying to get away with Halloween times.
Great.
All right. Let's
moving on to real news.
Yeah, real story. Moving on to real stories. Well, this first one's not a real story. I just wanted to mention that Facebook has reached 1 billion users. So that is one of the signs of the end of times, I think.
Well, you know what, though? One thing about that, I saw a report about 6 months ago that was stating that those numbers are kind of inflated, because that takes into account multiple user accounts, like people that have, like, you know, well, kind of like what we do. We have a fake one to sit and test Facebook ads and things like that. So the numbers can be almost like 2 to 3, if not more, to 1. Yeah. So I don't know how accurate that user profile is.
And it doesn't take into account stickiness either, of people that created a Facebook account and never went to it.
Right.
You know, if
how
no
many
one ever
active
posted,
users?
Right, exactly. So from what I've heard, it's just 1 billion users. So kind of like McDonald's, 1 billion served. You know, it's not people, it's burgers, and in this instance, it's not actual people using it. It's just accounts that have been opened. Yeah, but worth mentioning, I suppose. Yeah. It's the big milestone that happened this week. All right, let's see. Here is a story about the Starbucks app. Apparently, when you pay with your phone, or the little card that you put on your phone, there's no place to add a tip amount onto there. And since now that you're not paying with cash and getting change back, I don't know about you guys, but if I go to a coffee shop and I pay with cash and I get change, I just dump the change into the tip bowl that's there, because I'd rather have it in that bowl than in my pocket. And it gives a little bit something back to the people who help me out. Right. So when you start paying with an app, it's all digital. There's no room for tip payments. So Starbucks is seeing people's tips decline. So they're going to put into the app a place where you can say, and add X amount of tip.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I wonder how many people are actually going to add a tip in the app because
Yeah.
like you said, like when you're in person, a lot of people just really don't want to carry around change, so they dump it in the tip box. But when it's an app, you're gonna have to like manually say like, oh, I want to leave $1 tip, 50-cent tip, or whatever it may be.
Right.
So I'm wondering if people are actually gonna bother to leave a tip now.
It's
when
like
they
an
use the
extra
app.
step,
Yeah, it's an extra step. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's like when you pay with a credit card at a restaurant. They scan it, you do it, you walk away with your coffee, and then you get a little notification that's like, hey, you just bought Starbucks. Do you want to leave a tip? And then you say like 10, 20, 30, 40 cents,
Okay.
50,
Yeah.
$50, that sort of thing. I don't know. It would be. I don't know. Maybe they would get more tips if, when you paid with a card, the cashier was like, "Would you like to add a tip to that?" Because when confronted that way, I bet most people would be like, "Okay,"
Yeah, I'd be offended by that, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I would. That kind of takes the
Generosity.
the generosity factor out of it. It's like, it's like I want. If I felt you were doing great, you'll find out if you hear the clanking of the change in your tip jar.
Yeah.
It's like bullying you almost into leaving a tip. Not bullying, but it's kind of like saying like, hey, aren't you gonna tip me?
Right.
All right. We need to come up with another solution. Let's spitball this. Where's my whiteboard? How can we? Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Dan. Like when I was a youngster, and we ordered a pizza once, my dad left money for me to pay. I think I don't know where he went off somewhere, and I had to like pay for the pizza. And the guy comes, and however much it was, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have exact change for you." And I like just stood there looking at him, and he's like, "Well, were you going to give me a tip?"
No.
And at that point, I was like, "Well, not anymore, but I
Yeah.
guess I was."
Here's some candy from last Halloween.
Yeah. So I guess it would be like that, and I would probably feel the same way about being asked if I wanted to leave a tip, at Starbucks as that time, or even or like that guilt that you feel when you go to McDonald's and like, oh, would you like to donate $1 to the Ronald McDonald House because
Right.
they're doing some sort of
Yeah.
drive, and you're just like, you feel like such a heel being like,
Right.
not today.
That happens to me when I go to Petco sometimes to buy dog food. They're like, "Oh, would you like to donate to help homeless dog?" And I'm like, "I'm such a jerk if I don't donate."
Yeah. No, don't feel bad.
See,
They
I gave
can't
up on
quit.
that stuff. I have gotten rid of all my guilt on that stuff. Like, you know what? I figure it this way. It's like, I have a dog that we rescued. I've done my part. Yes, I'm sorry. There's other homeless dogs in the world, but call me cruel and unusual. But
Send them to the debtor's prison, or have them die and decrease the surplus population. Dan Ebenezer Scrooge.
Dan Ebenezer Scrooge.
But
Wrong holiday.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. Would you guys take an extra second to add a tip to an app if you were going to pay with your app? And I mean,
yes.
this is a question that's going to come up a lot now that there's that Passport or Passbook app on iOS 6, right?
Right.
Because you're going to wind up paying with Starbucks with your screen, and then what? So Dan, Lewis, would you actually leave a tip using digital means, or just hard change for you guys?
I would probably, depending on the service, I would. So I think it's kind of subjective, at least for me. I mean,
just Starbucks. Like, oh, you mean depending on the quality of the service given to you?
yeah. I mean,
that
if
time,
they really rocked my latte, then yes, I'll throw in a couple coins or something in the coffer. But it's, I mean, in all honesty, there have been times where I've gone to a Starbucks and it's been like, about 10 minutes, still waiting for that frappe, and and the whole point of tipping is to show
Sure.
your appreciation for the service that was rendered, and sometimes the service is not rendered the way. And I'm not a jackass about it. It's not like I'm going to be a miser and say this is my money,
Right.
but if the service was good, yeah, I'll throw some money in the coffer, and I would do that with an app as well.
See, which is interesting because at places like Starbucks, the tip jar is where you place your order and pay,
Right.
not where you get your order. So
Right.
you wind up in a position where you are pre-tipping, honestly, for, so you drop your change in there, and then you wind up waiting 30 minutes because they never made your order or whatever. Then you're like, can I just take that money back out of the? You can't do that.
Right. Well, that's why I wait. And actually, if they give me the drink in a relatively, and I'm pretty easygoing about things like this, but if they give me the drink in a relatively short amount of time, I'll walk back and throw some cash in. But if not, then it's like, thanks for playing. We'll try you again next time.
I'll have to say I'm absolutely terrible. I have only used my debit card to buy things at Starbucks for a really long time, and yeah, since I don't have the change, I don't drop anything in the tip, and this is something I didn't even think about until I read the story. In fact, where I was like, right, I'm the jerk. They see this guy come in and be like, you have been in here every day of the week and not given us a tip at all. Let's spit in your latte. Louis, I'm sorry, I cut you off. You were about to say.
No, I was just about to say, like, I don't go to Starbucks that often, but the few times that I have gone, I don't. Maybe I'm the bigger jerk because I don't tip. I've actually never tipped. I mean, I see the tip jar there, but I'm like, all right, if I go up to a coffee cart on the street, I don't tip him.
Yeah.
Why am I going to tip at Starbucks?
Yeah.
So, I mean, even if the app has, something for me to tip, I'm probably not going to. I mean, like, I think I'm pretty good when it comes to tipping with delivery and stuff like that. But at Starbucks, I never tip. When I pick up food, I don't tip, even though sometimes they give me that, oh, would you like to leave a tip? But I'm like, I'm picking up.
Yeah.
Like,
what have you done for me?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
yeah.
So yeah, I've never tipped at Starbucks. I don't think that will change. As horrible as that sounds.
I agree. I feel like I'm a relatively good tipper, and yet I do not tip at Starbucks. It's interesting. I don't know. Well, what if they change things by adding this thing called the dip jar? I don't know if you've seen this. There's this company that has created it's like this little jar with like a slot on the top, like you would find on an ATM, and it's designed to be put next to a cash register, and it has an amount on it, and when you dip your card into it, it immediately withdraws that amount and puts it into a virtual tip jar for the employees.
Huh.
Right. So now, when I go to Starbucks, I would hand over my card to the cashier. She'd scan it, and then I could think like, oh, there's the dip jar. I could just dip it in, and there's $1 that goes to the baristas. Would that change anything? Is that
not for me.
No,
I wouldn't tip a buck. I mean, good lord, the coffee's like almost $17 a glass now. So it's like adding another $1 would just be almost insult to injury. I mean, what would let's put it on the high side. What's 15% of your frappe if it's $4.50?
15% is.
I have to do the math.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm asking you guys.
Well, if it's $4.50, 10% is 45. Half again of that, say 22. Right. It's 67 cents.
Okay, so let's say 70 cents or 60 cents or whatever you feel like tipping. I mean, I think that's plenty. It's almost like when you go to a restaurant, you've got a party of like 8 or more, and they charge you 18%. That's tacked on at the end of the bill. It's like I'd rather have the option to be generous as opposed to forcing the hand.
But like, if you walk into a deli, do you tip that guy?
No,
you
not
don't.
really.
You don't tip the deli guy.
And that's the thing. Why would you tip Starbucks, which is like the big corporate chain, and not the guy at the corner selling coffee in the freezing weather, or the guy at the deli, or the guy at the bodega?
Yeah. Well, maybe they're not making such involved confection drinks for you.
True,
like it's not a pumpkin spice latte. It's just like, and there's a coffee. Whereas,
here's the milk.
Right. Whereas like a barista at Starbucks, they have to, they've been trained to do this. There's special steps. I don't know. I think the failing of the dip jar, like you said, Dan, is the fact that it's I guess it's up to them to set what the default amount is, and if it is $1, that might be a little too much for you. But if it's less, then I don't know. Is it really going to help out? Because they probably have to pay for the swipe fees as well. So if it's like 50 cents and they're paying a 21-cent swipe fee,
that's true. I forgot all about that.
So.
Well, maybe what I should do is get one of those and just set the limit at $25,000. Because if one person does it, I'm in.
Put one on your desk at work. And,
exactly. Well, since I work from home, I'm waiting for the dog to do it? It ain't gonna work.
Exactly. All right, let's see. We are rapidly running out of time in here. We talked too much about Halloween and tipping, I guess. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to talk about? Tipping, kind of like
so many good ones.
there are so many good stories. All right, let's try and run through them
All
really
right.
quickly. So there's new Nexus things. Go, Lewis.
Yes, new Nexus has been announced. Actually, it will be announced end of October, and it's going to be Google teaming up with LG this time. So the original Nexus was with HTC, and then it was with Samsung, and now they're going with LG for the next Nexus smartphone.
Is this their way to be like, yeah, see, we're still not giving preference to Motorola?
Exactly. You would think it would have been with Motorola, but they're going with LG. Maybe they're going to hit every manufacturer and kind of say like, oh, we're Google, we get around or something like that.
That'd be a great motto. They change it to "Don't be evil" to "We get around." Love it. More Nexus things coming.
Yes.
Anything?
So what was it? This summer when they announced, ASUS and Google announced the Nexus 7. Now they're coming out with a more high-end 10-inch tablet, and this time they're going to team up with Samsung. And like I said, it's going to be a 10-inch tablet, probably better specs than the current ASUS Nexus 7. And it's been given the green light, and it will debut, I believe, before the end of the year is what they're aiming for.
All right. So more of a we're going after the iPad type of thing.
Absolutely. It says it's gonna have a resolution greater than the Retina iPad, than the current Retina iPad. So they're really aiming for the high-end market now.
Hey, can I add a tag into that? I went to Verizon over the weekend, and something that they're offering now, which I have never heard of in any other store, is they are offering financing on tablets.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like I was looking around at stuff, and he goes, "Oh yeah, do you want to buy a tablet?" And they came out with this new Verizon Android tablet that looked kind of cool. It actually kind of had squared off edges, so it wasn't, I guess what would the word be? Tabular? Is that a word? I don't know. But it had squared off edges, and it was like $399 or $499. He goes, "Oh yeah, we can finance that for you." And I go, "Oh well, I hate financing stuff." He goes, No. What we'll do, we break it down over 12 months on your bill and only charge you $2 a month for financing." And I'm going, "Really?" And they said, "Oh yeah, we can do that with iPads. We can do it with all these other pads. So if you want it, come back and ask for me." So I guess they get commission on that. But I thought that was kind of an interesting ploy to get people to buy tablets who maybe feel a little reticent about kicking down, $600, $700.
I can't afford $600 now, but I could afford $50
a month.
Yeah.
So I was sitting there going, "Ooh, should I do that? No, my wife would kill me. I'll hold off."
And I take it that's only on tablets that come with a data plan, right? They're not going to do it on just like tricky.
Right.
It's very tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good scam. I mean, but if you've already got a friends and family thing, it's only $10 more a month. And you can just add to their their shared data plan.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a good. It actually piqued my interest enough to where I considered it for about 10 minutes.
You hesitated until
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm sitting there going, "New tablet, divorce attorney. New tablet, divorce attorney." I'll just stick without the tablet thing.
All right. Let's see. Time for one last story, maybe. What do you guys think? Oh, so many good ones. Should we?
I would love to hear about the Amazon haggling platform.
Yeah, so Amazon has patented this way in which, instead of going to their website and seeing a pay now price, essentially, you can submit an offer to say, like, I would like to pay less for this. And then the buyer that you're buying it from, I'm guessing this is all for like third party people. Yeah. Through it. So it's not quite eBay, it's not quite Amazon, it's somewhere in between. So it's someone's offering something for $20, you say, actually I'd like to pay $15. The merchant can counter offer and say, how about $19.99? And then you say, right, maybe a little bit more, and it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until neither of you are happy. What do you guys think? Would you guys want to digitally haggle over something? I mean, I found that was the beauty of Amazon is like,
Right.
you know,
They've got the lowest price.
right,
Yeah.
you know, or like I'm looking for the lowest price, and like if I find a low price, I want to buy it. Now it adds this whole other level of like, well, now I'll feel like a chump if someone else haggles a lower price than I
You have
do
to
on
fight for the
something
lower
like that.
price, and the whole beauty of it was just like, oh, there's the lowest price. I'll just
Right.
click and buy it. One click to
Right.
buy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. Like, I like
No.
haggling in person. I don't like haggling in person, but I've done it.
Hmm.
But to do it now online now, nah, I don't want to do it. No.
Yeah, same here. It's like I don't mind doing it in person. I've done it, and I actually have been able to weasel my way into some really good deals just by sheer brute force and intimidation. But
You
but
showed him
no,
the zombie hand.
exactly. I freaking the zombie hand. This is what the last guy did. But I don't. I'm with you guys. It's like I don't want to have to sit there, write an email, have him answer, write another email, have him answer, and then because it's not going to be instantaneous. I'll tell you that.
No.
I actually did use a similar service like this on one of the cigar sites that I frequent. They have an option like, okay, here's this humidor and it's $70, but how much would you like to pay? If you don't want to buy that at that price now, you send a little email and a little graphic pops up of one of those like little scary looking guys from like Pawn Stars or Hardcore Pawn or whatever those TV shows are,
Okay.
and it says, hey, that's an interesting offer. We'll have to get back to you, and it's the same type of mechanism, but then he'll send an email and say, well, thanks, but no thanks. So it's
Right.
like, after one of those, it's like I was done. So, yeah, I would much rather pay it and get it out of the way and just make sure it's
Right.
the lowest price that I could find without having to do 40 emails.
Yeah, and think about how hard it's going to make our jobs writing up deals, or less if you haggle. If you like, to haggle. Amazon offers who knows what for how much. Who knows? I don't know.
Exactly.
Last
Right,
week,
get it
somebody
right.
got it for $10 less.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll say I'm probably more apt to try and haggle online than in person because I just don't have the kind of chutzpah to do that in person. It's like, oh, maybe I can ask him to take $5. No, never mind, just pay the full thing. I'll get out of your hair. I'm sorry, I didn't.
I drive my wife nuts when I do that out there. She goes, "Oh, would you just stop?" I go, "Honey, I just saved us 15% on on an item."
On car insurance.
Car insurance.
What's that old joke? I saved 15% on my car insurance by switching my car into reverse and driving away from the accident.
And look, he threw in the gum for free as well.
Yeah,
So we have clean breath for no extra charge. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go to haggle yourselves all you'd like. We are done. Thank you guys for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, listeners, for links to today's stories, Twitter feeds, blog links, and more, go to our show notes page. Also, feel free to send us feedback to podcast@dealnews.com. Also, if you've liked what you heard, why not give us a rating either on iTunes, your pod store of choice, or wherever you found this. 5 stars, thumb up, whatever you got. We'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. I'm Jeff Somogyi. That sounded totally. It sounded totally insincere. I was like, "Thanks so much. We would really appreciate it." No, we
Thanks
really
so much.
would.
Love you. We'll see you
Yeah,
later.
Totally, we really would appreciate it. Thank you, and I thank everyone who has done that. I've actually checked iTunes and checked YouTube. We have gotten a lot of good reviews up there.
Oh, have we?
Yeah. So thank you
Wow.
guys for continuing on and keep up the great work. See, that's more sincere now, right?
That was
I mean
very
it.
sincere.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart. All right. I'm Jeff Somogyi. Goodbye.